Welcome back to the Fricken Dad podcast.
God dang it, I had a accent. I messed it up. Sorry.
God damn it. We have limited time, Dad.
Okay, sorry.
Time to go to sleep.
This is the only podcast. God damn it. What am I supposed I forgot what I'm supposed to say. The only podcast brought to you on CP time. No. What am I saying?
Welcome back to the Fricken Dad podcast. The only podcast that runs on CP time.
The only podcast that runs on CP time. Okay.
CP time. Yeah, anyways. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Fricken Dad podcast.
Literally the only podcast that runs on CP time.
Bombastic side eye. Yeah, we need to get webcams. So that's what I decided.
Yeah, that's the next lick.
Yeah, I found some on Amazon. We just need to get webcams.
Okay. All right.
But anyways, so we need to be rich by tomorrow.
Ooh. Okay.
So get to it.
So apparently we're hitting a lick. If you guys know anybody rich that's slipping, we need their name and address.
Okay, quiet down. You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot, Dad.
You said by tomorrow?
Yeah, by tomorrow, yeah. Because being broke is a joke.
Honestly. Yeah, it's not my favorite thing. No. But you get used to it.
I don't want to be used to it. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Yeah.
No, but I thought about this episode because, we've been trying to do, more businessy stuff with the podcast and making it more official and whatever. So I thought, we should talk about some of the ways that we want to be rich. Because I feel like we talk about a lot of things, but, nothing's been done for real yet. But we have visions, we have dreams and hopes and wants and needs and wow, my fucking computer's at 21%. Damn, this shit's eating the battery up. Give me a second. Wow, that's crazy. And my damn bodysuit and shit.
Get your life together.
Unbuttoned and shit.
Well, folks, I'm glad you're sticking with us through this intermission while we work through some technical difficulties. We'll be with you in just a moment. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Okay. Okay, we're back.
Oh, sorry.
We're back.
And we're back.
Correct. Anyway. But yeah, I was just thinking about it because, I really want passive income.
Mm-hmm.
Passive income just sounds so great. I'm tired of working. I'm tired of getting up early ass in the morning and having to work.
I want to say I was very impressed when you used the term. I don't remember what we were talking about. It might have been rental properties. And you said, well, if you're trying to do this and you're trying to do that and passive income, I was like, what?
It's the economic major, Dad.
Yeah, okay. I hear you.
I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I don't know. I just want money. Because I was hoping that the podcast would kick off a little bit more than it is.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're doing good, but it's damn, someone sponsor us or something. Fuck. Damn, someone give us a gig. We're funny. Damn.
Holla at your boy. Yeah. And we can't really get into any of our wishes and dreams here and have somebody snatch our shit up. What then? So I got some ideas, but shit, we ain't talking about them here in the public domain. Oh. I got my eyes on you, motherfuckers.
I don't know, so basically, when we were talking about it, I don't even know how to start or where to go with this. There's so many different things going on in my head, different ideas of things to talk about. But we were talking about real estate, obviously. That was what your and I's conversation off camera was. And one thing that I was thinking about was Airbnb. But my biggest struggle with like getting a lot of these things done and doing a lot of these things that like I think about or talk about is that I feel like some of these things are so mainstream that I'm like, what's the point?
What's going to set us apart or whatever?
Yeah, like that's what I struggle with, because that's the whole reason why like I stopped doing YouTube and stopped like recording videos and like just stopped enjoying it altogether, was because it was just so mainstream and everyone was doing the same thing. And I feel like it's the same thing with Airbnb, like, and maybe it's just because like my For You page and maybe not as many people are doing Airbnb as I think they are, but like I feel like all over my TikTok For You page is how to start Airbnb, this is Airbnb this, Airbnb that, like, excuse me, I know a couple people here I know a couple people here that do Airbnb. Like, there's this guy that goes to Morehouse. He has an Airbnb, like, you know, so I was just like, you know, Airbnb would be kind of like, I don't know, I think Airbnb would kind of be cool, and like, I think I would do well at it, but it's just like, it's so mainstream that I'm like, well, what, like, would I actually even make any money from it for real? Like, what is the point of me getting another apartment to do Airbnb if I'm just going to have to pay rent on the apartment by itself because no one's going to get it?
Yeah, you got to do the math for it for sure. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Airbnb. I am more of the mind of having some rental properties. And my mindset is right now is trying to figure out how I can get the home I'm in to be a rental property while I go out and find a bigger house that might need some love and care, but a bigger house, and get into that. And if this can pay the mortgage on that, then I'm winning. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then there's a lot to it. I've been listening and reading and doing some studying and trying to figure it out. I'm hoping I'm not too old to do it yet, but yeah, I've learned a lot. My one homeboy actually is in Atlanta. Him and his partners actually buy houses and flip them, but they have a program. I don't know if that's the right word for it. And I've been trying to read up on it. It's called it's BRRR, 4 R's, BRRR. And it's basically it's just a strategy on how to do it. You buy the homes, you renovate them, you rent them, then you can either resell them. But it's more of a long-term strategy. You want to have somebody in there for a year or so, and then you know what you're doing with the home. But you also have to do the math on the flip side, like what our mortgage is like. Is the mortgage going to cover, what repairs do you need? If you're talking major repairs, your rent's got to be a little bit higher. But up here, rents are outlandish in Washington, so I don't think the rent income is going to be the thing. It's going to be finding a home that's not going to cost too much to fix to get to the point that it's able to rent. But if we're in that home, it's a different story, because once you get the first rental, then getting the next rental is not as hard. Mm-hmm. So I was actually looking at a duplex around the corner. I was too late to get in on it, but they were asking like $400,000, and my house actually is almost to that point.
$400,000 for the whole duplex, like both sides. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and then I didn't see the inside, so I'm sure it probably needed some TLC, but I'm a half-ass handy. Give me a little time, I can make it work. And if we got into something like that, you rent this house out, go over to the duplex, you live in a half of it, rent the other half. Mm-hmm. I think you're winning, but...
Right. Ugh. I just want to be rich, Dad. I'm just...
And I'm going to share this other one just because maybe somebody should do it, because I've been having this in the back of my mind for a minute, and I have yet to act on it. But in the states where, and I don't know, maybe it's just Washington, but in the states where marijuana is legal, why has no one put a vending machine in the marijuana stores? I'm sure you haven't been in any of the stores, but there's no vending machines. I would think a vending machine with snacks in it, I would think that would clean up at a bud spot.
Oh, I thought you were more so saying, because you know how like now in the malls that like people can just like buy vending machines and like have random shit in their vending machines. I thought you were more so saying like a weed vending machine.
Oh, no. I was thinking like a legit vending machine just in the weed store. I would think that if you're going to catch somebody that's going to, be prey to suggestive selling or whatever that is, I would think that would be the spot.
Yeah, that's actually not too bad of an idea.
And that's passive income. You pretty much just go around, collect your money, fill up the machines.
Yeah.
But I don't even know how to like I said, I've had that idea for a long ass time. I don't even know where to go with it.
That one I heard is a lot easier. Like, you literally kind of just go buy a vending machine. But I don't know how it works in certain states because it was funny. Me and my coworkers were actually talking about opening up, like, a coffee shop or, like, a coffee stand. Because over here in Georgia, like, coffee stands aren't a thing. Because, you know, like, coffee's not a really big thing here. And, like, versus in Washington, like, it's a really big thing. And, like, you know, they got the spritzers and you got all the stands on the side of the road and, like, whatever. They don't have those here. And I noticed that and I was like, that's weird. Like, and I was joking around. I was like, let's open up a stand. And one of my shift managers, he was talking about how like apparently and I don't know if it's in general like all the rules or if it's just in Georgia or what, but apparently you have to go through a lot of hoops and flips and shit to get like a license to be able to even sell anything. Like, you have to have like a license now to sell lemonade on the side of the road. So I don't know if that's just Georgia or if that's like all over the place, but I don't know. I've heard vending machine is good money, and I heard that it's pretty easy. So, yeah.
And some of these weed spots, they've got 3 or 4 different, spots. They're kind of a chain. So if you could hook up with that chain and be like, hey, I just want to put my vending machine in there. How much are you going to charge me for that? I would think it'd be nothing. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking silly. That's what it is.
I don't know.
I be talking myself up and be like, okay, yeah, that's a great idea. And then I get to the point of leaping off the ledge and be like, I'm being silly. That's dumb. That'll never work.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I was just thinking, like, of all the different, like, little things or whatever. And I feel like a lot, like, for me also. Okay, hold on. Back it up. Nope, I'm going into 5 different tracks right now. So, first option, first thought. Yeah, let me chill out. First thought was Airbnb, because we were talking about real estate. Because that was one thing that I feel like in high school that I had thought about was, like, while I was going to college, I was thinking about getting a real estate license just because, like, I don't know. Like, it's good to have multiple things under your belt, like, especially when these multiple things that are under your belt could turn into, like, full-fledged careers, so you have multiple career options at all times type thing. Yeah, so that was definitely a thought, was, like, a real estate license. And then, like, Airbnb would kind of be, like, the start of it, whatever. Which I still might look into it just because, I don't know, like, if Airbnb were to work, like, okay, then I got my college paid for, you know? Like, I might be a good little thing. So that was one thing. And then, of course, obviously, like influencing and, like, internet stuff. Guys, I'm going to start doing comedy. So, come check out the shows. Maybe that'll be a thing. So that was a thought, because I was thinking, like, okay, like, comedy, the podcast, like, once that all starts kicking off, that could be a potential. It's just taking a lot of patience, and I don't have patience.
Well, you know what? But you know what? You don't sell yourself short for the fact that you are getting in when you are getting in. Don't undercut that. That's a big deal.
I know that's another thing that I wanted to talk about, because I think that I struggle so much with my age, because I know that, like, I'm not there, but I gotta be there because I don't have a choice other than to be there. So it's like I have my group of friends or whatever, and a lot of them are much, much older than me. So it's like seeing them, and it's like, okay, y'all got, like, full-fledged lives. Like, you guys, like, are out here talking about some kids, and they're like, oh my god, like, Bella, when do you want kids? Girl, no, get out of my face. Don't say no stupid shit to me. I'm a kid myself. Don't say no dumb shit. Like, fuck. We went to the lounge the other day, and they were like, yeah, like, I want to have kids. Like, my mom is asking me when I'm gonna have kids. Like, asking me about the ring, and they're like, I know you're young, but, like, what is your plan? I don't have a plan. Don't ask me stupid shit. I don't know. Just no. That's the answer. Just no. Absolutely not. So, but, like, hanging out with these other people that are older than me, it's like, okay, I see that they got careers, but then also it's weird kind of looking at it because, like, sometimes in my head I think that I'm, like, in the same age group as them, and it's, like, not that they're starting now, but it's, like, okay, like, they're kind of just starting in a way, like, and they're 40, like, so I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, like, maybe I'm not as, like, behind as I feel like I am, because then also, like, social media really fucks it up, too, because, like, I'm, like, you know, obviously you see all these, like, rich kids, like, doing shit, like, scamming and whatever the fuck they're doing, and so you're like, damn, like, you got a Mercedes at fucking 16, like, you know, I don't know, I'm just, like, I feel like my identity crisis is really just with my age, like, my age is just really fucking everything up for me. Because I'm just like, it's really throwing me off, like, especially being friends with older people, because then, like, I'm like, I also, like, sit there and I try to remember, and I'm like, okay, I am 18, most 18-year-olds are not where I'm at, aren't doing the things that I'm doing, aren't, like, anywhere near me, and then, you know, I look at the people that I went to high school with, and it's like, okay, like, you guys are doing average, like, whatever, but it's like, okay, like, I'm doing pretty good for being 18, but then I'm, like, around my friends that I actually enjoy being around, and, like, you know, whatever. But it is also at the same time, I feel like it's really good for me to be around these older people, because it is pushing me to be better, and it's pushing me to do different things and try different avenues. Because, like, cybersecurity would have never. Why are you laughing at me? Listen to me when I speak. Why are you laughing? I'm being serious. This is a serious discussion.
Yeah, right.
This is a serious conversation. Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't speak. God damn. Loud ass laughing in my fucking ear when I'm trying to have a serious conversation with you, and all you can do is laugh. The vein is popping out your fucking forehead. Shut up. Damn. Let a bitch talk. Fuck. Shit.
Oh, Lord. Yes, you were saying.
Are you done?
Probably not, but go ahead. Let's try again. And scene. Okay, go ahead.
So basically, I think it's also really good, though, for me to be around all these other older people. What? Good for me to be around all these other older people. Wow, that was a lot. Because then it's like, they're also, like, you know, pushing me, obviously, to be better, and then pushing... Why are you... Quit fucking smiling. Why is that smirk on your face?
Damn, I can't laugh. I can't smirk.
No.
You want to have a podcast by your damn self? What's wrong
Be
with
angry.
you? God damn.
God damn.
Wow.
But they're pushing me to be better and to try different avenues, because, like I was saying, like, cybersecurity, planning on taking cybersecurity class.
What?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What?
Cybersecurity class. That's not something that I ever would have thought about taking, looking into, anything like that. So yeah, it's like that. And also real estate. One of my friends is a real estate agent, so maybe we can get the homie hookup, Dad. We'll figure some shit out.
You should ask how much does it cost to get into a rental property there, and see what she says, or they say. I assume she. I don't know why.
She.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like, I'm really having a struggle with my identity, with my age, because of, like, the people that I hang out with. But then I know it's also a good thing. But then I'm also like, well, fuck, like, I don't know. I'm just, there's a lot going on in my baby brain right now.
Does any of the conversation that you have out loud sound like any of the conversations that we've had?
What do you mean?
As far as like having a wide variety of friends, and your different peer groups are going to open up doors for you for different arenas, and you'll be able to see things from different perspectives with the more friend group that you have. No? We
I'm sure we've had the conversation. I'm sure we have. Okay. Anyways, that's not the fucking point.
It was for me.
Yeah, I'm sure it was for you. I'm sure you got to kick out of that shit.
I'm back. Sorry. Shit.
But yeah, so.
But again, it's a two-edged sword. If you did not have that peer group out there that was pushing you and making you see that there are other things that are available, there are other challenges that you can put for yourself. You have other opportunities out there that you would have never thought of without those people being around, right? So that there's that side of it, and then of course there's the other side of it where you're like, I should be further along. I've been doing it for this long. I should be further along. And sadly enough, I could even relate it to comedy. I look at some of the comedians that are out here, and there's some of them that I'm like, oh wow, you're pretty good. You know, how long you been doing it? Find out they only been doing it for a couple of years. Like, well, shit. Why I should be where you're at because I've been doing it. You know, but it's everybody's path. Everybody's, and I'm not gonna say journey because that motherfucking shit's getting on my goddamn nerves. Everything is not a goddamn journey. God damn it. Sometimes it's just a bus trip. It ain't a motherfucking journey. You ain't went that goddamn far. You went a goddamn journey. Everything. My weight loss journey. My blah, blah, blah journey. My blah, blah, blah journey. Motherfucker, it is not a goddamn journey. It's a goddamn destination or something. I don't know what the hell. But anyways, everybody's path is different, and you get to where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there.
I know, and I'm just like, I'm really struggling with it because it's like, because also on the other hand of that as well, it's like, okay, they're pushing me to be better, they're pushing me to, like, you know, learn about all these new things, like, you know, they're successful, I want to be successful, like, it's using motivation, but then it's also like, damn, I feel bad because it's like, well, fuck, I'm not there. And then on the other hand of that, it's like, not only am I not there, but I feel like I can't keep up with them, like, but mostly when I'm thinking about it financially, because they've, like, I've been invited out for the past 3 weeks straight, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, I can't go out like this. I don't have the money for this. I gotta work. I've been switching shifts around, like, you know, whatever. Like, I'm still able to maintain it, but it's just like, damn, like, I want to be able to go out and enjoy myself, and, like, I'm wearing the same 2 outfits every single time we go out. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's something that I'm struggling with because it's like I can't keep up, but I'm trying to cut myself some slack because I know that I'm young and, like, there's a lot of people my age that aren't where I'm at. Like, I'm really, I don't know, I'm just really back and forth, like, struggling.
But realize what you're saying, though, baby girl, is you're the one that's being the hardest on yourself. These guys are still inviting you out. It's not like they're like, oh my gosh, she's a deadbeat. We don't want to have her around. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's poor. She can't afford to kick it with us. They still want you around. So you're beating yourself up. So let that.
It's trauma, Dad. It's trauma.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
It's trauma.
I hear you. But in the words of Buddha, let that shit go.
The Lord said, let there be lights.
Some of them.
But I'm also really, like, with this group of people, like, I'm also really blessed, not because they don't even really know that they're motivating me. I'm sure if some of them listen to this podcast, they will. But like,
wait, please leave a comment if you have been a motivation.
Yeah, like, they don't even know because I'm not like, it's not necessarily that I'm telling them and I, like, you know, whatever. But oh shit, I had somewhere I was going with this.
They don't realize they're motivating you. They are.
Yep, and that. They're also like my, like, and I don't, like, it's just nice to be because. They're just, like, really big hype men, and it's nice because I feel like it's come so naturally to, like, they're just a good group of people, and it's like they just, like, are automatic supporters. Like, I don't know why, but sometimes when I'm talking to some of my friends or whatever, it feels like I'm fucking pulling teeth, like, with them, trying to get them to support me. Like, they'll say that they support me, and then, like, I'll bring something up that it's like, okay, well, you should have known this or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, I didn't know. But you should have, though. That's the thing. Like, when me and my friends went out to the lounge the other night, and I had mentioned me having a podcast, they were like, oh my God, I didn't know. Like, give me the Instagram right now. Da-da-da-da-da. Then I went out with them again the next day, and then one of their boyfriends had went and listened to my podcast. I'm like, what? Like, she's like, yeah, we were listening to it while we were getting ready. I was like, I have friends that have been friends with me since we started this podcast, and they haven't listened to a single episode. So what? And they went and, like, looked at your Instagram. I'm like, what? Like, how like, y'all are just ride or die. Like, damn, like, you know, just, like, really good people, biggest hype men. And then, like, obviously, like, you know, that support is, like, helping me, like, boost me up. So they're doing it, like, both consciously and unconsciously type of thing. Because it's like, okay, like, you know, yeah. Basically just a really good group of people.
And if you get with the right clique, then you're going to have that, because not only are they, because they want, if you're with the right people, everybody wants everybody to win.
Right.
That's the first thing. And you're with a group of people that have a better vision than the folks that you typically would hang with. An 18-year-old is going to have a certain type of vision, but a 40-year-old has been through some shit and done seen some shit. And if they look at you and be like, oh yeah, you could do this, and they've been through that path themselves, that's what you're getting. That's why they're like, well, shit, oh, hey, what's up? What are you doing? Let me. How do I support you? How do I help? You know, but the cats that are your age and your peers age wise don't necessarily have that same natural instinct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
I really enjoy this friend group. I'm having fun. Like, they genuinely make me happy. You know, I really like their presence. You know, and
I'd like to hear what you're saying. What they're inspiring you to say and feel and do is all shit I've been waiting for. It's like, this is it. I'm ready to cash in my chips, baby. Go ahead and get rich. Shit. Yeah, my old ass is ready to put my feet up.
Yeah, they're, you know, like encouraging me to like do whatever, the cybersecurity, and then she's not part of my friend group, but my manager right now, I told you that she had brought up the whole comedy thing, which whatever, you and I had that conversation. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. It's not the point. But like hearing that, quit fucking moving. Sit your old ass down now. Damn. Like if y'all are not watching the recording of this, you should, because he's doing too fucking much and you need to see it. Damn. But are you done? Thanks.
Huh?
But I'm going crazy.
I'm done.
Okay.
Okay. Manager, supportive. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Yep. So, she listens to the podcast as well, and one day, what was that? Did you throw a West Side?
No, I just had to give her a piece. I was like, thanks, manager.
Yeah. But she listens. It's you know what's also funny? She listens to another podcast, and I don't actually remember what the name of the guy is, but I guess him and his wife have a podcast, and he's a comedian from Tacoma. You might know who I'm talking about, like when I say that, but
it's not Richie and Rachel, is it?
Oh, hold on. Now I gotta pull it.
That would be so funny if that's who it is.
Hold on.
Because we will have them on our podcast.
No. Here's the thing. Kevin Stage.
Oh, really?
Kev on Stage.
Yeah, he's a bigger name. We won't have him on our podcast.
No, but she was like talking about that, because I talked to her about the podcast all the time and whatever. But she had like one day, I don't know what I was doing, but I went in the back and she was like, you know, Belly, you're really funny. And I was like, really? Why do you say that? Like, am I in trouble? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what I did. I don't know.
Fight or flight. Fight or flight. Fight or flight.
Like, when I literally tell you, I started sweating. I was like, what do you mean I'm funny? Oh, God. Like, what was funny? What did I do? Like, damn. But she was like, no, you're just, like, really funny. She was like, yeah, I listened to the podcast. And I guess it was the podcast episode where we had talked about, the $5, $7 chocolate shit or whatever, and then the car dealership stuff. And I kind of want to go back and listen to it now, because I'm curious to know what she was talking about that I was saying. But she had said that, like, basically when I was going through the podcast and I was telling my stories and da-da-da-da-da, I was able to do, like, you know, the little comedian stuff where I, like, apparently actively recalled one of my jokes from earlier, and, like, it all tied together and whatever the fuck I did. All I know is that when she was telling me that, I was thinking about the books that I fucking listened to when you were playing them and shit in the car. God damn it. Y'all ain't shit. Like, and that's when I realized I really just soak information in like a sponge, because I did not mean to do that. I didn't mean that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Like, I was sitting there and she was telling me that. I was like, really? It's like, I don't remember that. And she was like, no, you did it. And she was like, I listened to a lot of comedy and you did exactly that, and you did it like flawlessly. And I was like, oh, okay. basically now I'm a comedian.
Side note. I mentioned something at work about you actually looking into pursuing comedy. Everybody was very excited.
Cause I know I'm funny and I know I crack people up, whatever. But like just hearing that obviously from outside people telling me that, and also like I was telling you before, bringing up certain skills, because it's not even just like, you know, your friends are like, oh my god, you're so fucking funny, that joke was so funny that you told, like da 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 da. But her saying like, oh yeah, you have the skills that a comedian does. I was like, oh. Okay, like,
yeah, because that was a callback. You did a callback.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, so maybe I do know a little something, a little something. I don't know. You do too much. Bring Isla back in.
Are you ready? How long have we been going at it? Or it's time to wrap it up?
No.
Oh.
Only 30 minutes. But yeah, so comedy's a thing, and then my little boo. Tell you about him later. But he has encouraged me to get back into poetry. So, why do you look like that?
I don't like him.
No, you do actually. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't like him at all.
Look at me, stand up.
God damn it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it. Yeah, look at my tummy is upset. I don't. This some nauseating shit. This is disgusting. We will never get rich at this rate. This is ridiculous.
I don't know. But yeah, so he's encouraged me to do what?
Nothing. He's encouraged you to do what?
Poetry. And then I told him about comedy too. He's a really big hype man. He listens to podcasts, so say hi.
Arr, arr, arr.
I can't believe you just did that. That right there gotta go viral on TikTok, right? That right there gotta go viral on TikTok. Bro, we gonna be rich by next week. I swear to God we will. Whoa. That was wild. Wow, that was crazy. That might actually be the end of the podcast episode. I really think that could get us a gig. Maybe with Chewy, Bug Box. I don't know. I don't know. What you think we got, Petco? Like, who's gonna sponsor us next? Maybe CBD gummies to chill the fuck down your dog. I don't know. God damn.
I don't give a damn. I cracked myself up.
I hate that you know what though? I hate that you sounded like DMX. I hate
That's what I was going for.
Damn. That was crazy. Yeah, so he's never coming around after that.
Can't wait to get down there now.
Shit. Well,
Watch me make up a family emergency. I'll be down there tomorrow, motherfucker.
Damn. Well, maybe with my boyfriend, I don't know. Motherfuckers do shit. Shit. Okay, we're getting off track, Dad. We're getting off track.
Sorry.
But he's encouraged me to do poetry. So now I'm getting out. I'm trying to write poetry, whatever. He wants me to go out there and perform, whatever. But I told my manager about that, and she had told me, she was like, Bella, I think you're like a performer. Like, I think that you're like I think that you're like gonna be like a personality. She was like, I think that's what your job is, like
entertainer.
Yeah, she was like, I think you're an entertainer, and I was like, you know what? Maybe. maybe, just maybe, because I was telling her maybe I could be like Kim Kardashian, where I'm like a lawyer, like on the side type shit. Like I have like, no, listen to me before you make a face. Like I have like a professional, you know, job, and then like on the other side, like I'm like a TV personality, you know, like. So maybe that's what it is. Like maybe we'll be like comedians and podcasters, and I really want to write a book at some point too. I don't know. But like, you know, do all these things or whatever. But then on the side, like have the whatever job I decide to do with my degree.
Animation. I still think a cartoon needs to be done. We could do a cartoon.
Who's doing a cartoon?
Well, I would like to see
You can draw cartoon. Though. You can draw.
Half-ass. I mean, I could probably get away with some shit, but I'm no artist. But actually now, if the writing's good, the art doesn't even have to be that good anymore. So
right, but yeah. So she was telling me, she was like, maybe you should, like, when I start comedy and like start doing my poetry and whatever, she was saying to make just like an entertainment Instagram or entertainment TikTok type thing where like I put like all my little stuff on there. Because that's a lot, writing like a comedy and a poetry. That just sounds like a lot in my head. I don't know. With already having to do that, I don't know. Just sounds like a lot. It's overwhelming me in my head. But
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the comedy will surprise you once you actually attempt to learn the techniques, because you've absorbed some of them, but once you actually attempt to learn them and figure out where the funny comes from, I think it's going to be so easy for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the plan. I did find a couple classes. It's just a matter of figuring out like when the classes actually take place, and like kind of just doing one thing at a time, because I don't know that I don't think that I'll be able to do cybersecurity and work and comedy classes all at the same time and have fun on top of that. I feel like that just sounds like a lot in my head.
That's a lot.
I was like, I'm just gonna get through the cybersecurity class first, and then like once school rolls around, then I'll try to get into a comedy class around like that point, whatever. But then also back to like that, like this group being like the biggest hype mans, they were all like, yeah, like we'll come out and watch you, like we'll come out to the shows and we'll come out to like, you know, your poetry nights, whatever. Like they're all encouraging me. Like when I was saying that we were gonna go to karaoke tomorrow, we were sitting at the restaurant today, and she like a song came on and she was singing. She went like this. Like with a fake mic. I was like, girl, don't put that mic in my face. Don't put that mic in my face. She's like, you're gonna have to get used to it, Miss Comedian. I was like, okay. But yeah. Oh, and back to the whole like soaking things up like a sponge. Being friends with these people, I've also learned a lot. And like what I wanted to talk about, because like, you know, the event that I went to or whatever, not only am I learning a lot and finding different avenues, but I'm making a lot of connections with people that I didn't think that I would be making connections with. Like then, like having a good group of friends, the networking goes crazy. Mm-hmm. Because that's
I was thinking that
was. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking that when you had mentioned the thing at the school where the promoter group had come through, I was thinking, wow, that's like, you wouldn't have had that opportunity here.
And like, yeah, like it, like just being in Atlanta has opened up so many different opportunities for me. And like we'll talk a little bit more, because networking not only has to do with like, you know, my friend group, but pretty privilege, which we'll get into the next episode, because I've networked a lot through that as well. But like just the amount of people that I've made connections with, and like the different companies and whatever, like and just the different people that I've met, like, and it's really, and I've figured out like it really is not like what you know, it's who you know. So, you know, like as I was telling you about like the PDF Friday things that we did, and, you know, like connecting with Live Nation, never would have ever thought that comedy booking would ever be in my future, but like there was that opportunity, which they did end up getting back to me. He said to check for fall internships, by the way. But, you know, like they're like Live Nation, or like just some of the companies that they brought to the school. It's like, okay, that like that's not an opportunity that I've heard any of my other friends in college have, you know, like especially being in Washington, like whatever, I haven't heard any of that. And then like today, like I wasn't really going into today expecting to connect with anybody for real. I just thought that I was going to support my friend because she didn't want to go, like whatever. She's like, oh, you know, like just come with me, whatever. Then ended up connecting with so my friend is a real estate agent. Her friend, which is also my friend, she's a real estate lawyer. And then her best friend, who I met today, which was kind of interesting, she's a financial advisor, and she was like, oh yeah, if you ever want to like look into financial advising, like hit me up. Because her boyfriend went to Morehouse, she went to Hampton, And then she was like, I told her, you know, what I'm in school for or whatever. She was like, oh yeah, like you should do financial advising. Like, and then I was telling her about the podcast, and I was like, yeah, like I really like, I just like to help people. I'm a people person, like I'm an entertainer, whatever. And she was like, oh, okay, like, you know, if you ever want to look into financial advising, hit me up. Got her Instagram. Like, didn't expect to go in there with any actual real connection, so that was cool. And then the guy who was hosting it, I don't know what he does. I'm not going to lie to you. But, like, you know, made that connection, you know, talked to him, whatever. So just, like, making all these connections that, like, is not something that I would have thought. And then, like, it was funny when I went to family dinner last night. We were talking about jobs and college and whatnot because, you know, like, Ava's graduating. And I was telling Derek about my friend group because a lot of the friend group that I'm in right now, they a lot of them are in like tech and computer stuff. He was like, oh, you better hook me up with your friends, like, because, you know, whatever, I'll get into it later. But he was like, oh yeah, you better hook me up with your friends. I was like, Derek, figure it out. Figure it yourself. These are my friends. You don't need my friends. But, yeah, so just like a lot of the connections that I've made with different people, and then like I said, different avenues of different careers. Also, like I was saying with the real estate, how I wanted like multiple different avenues of not only passive income, but incomes that could potentially be full-time incomes if I wanted them to be full-time incomes. I kind of like, and back to the whole soaking things up like a sponge, I didn't realize that when you become a lawyer, you're a lawyer for anything. And you basically choose your specification, and you could change it at any time. Because the real estate lawyer today, like we were all talking, and I think the financial advisor, she was like, oh, like as a lawyer, how do you network? Like, you just go and talk about the law? And she was like, no. And she basically was saying that like that, you know, like when you go and you connect with other lawyers and attorneys and whatever, you connect, you're like, hey, I'm an attorney for this, you're an attorney for that, okay, take my card, because then you get like referrals, you get more business, But she was like I could really, like, she was like, even though I specify in real estate attorney, like if I wanted to, I could go and, you know, catch up on my criminal lawyer law, and like, and I could be a criminal lawyer tomorrow. Like, you don't have to get any type of specific specification for being a lawyer in that like thing. She was like, I could go start a firm for whatever the fuck I want to tomorrow. Like, it doesn't really matter as long as it's under the law. Like, you might have to brush up on some things, whatever, but like, you know, so that was kind of interesting to see. And then it was same thing with like, you know, real estate, because it's like, okay, you could be a real estate agent, you could be a real estate broker, you could be like, you know, but it all falls under the real estate category. So I don't know, just like really soaking things in, learning a lot from, you know, the people that are around me. Really trying to learn some shit. I don't know. Really trying to make.
I think the medical field is probably similar as well, where it's a big umbrella, and then there's little specifics that you have within it. And so, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I never had a career, so I say go get them, as many of them as you can.
Yeah. So.
And
and I'm just yeah. I'm just trying to find. I really just want something right now because, like, you know, I'm content with my job ish. Like, I wish I could do more, but obviously I'm in school. It's hard to get like a full-time job, whatever. But like, I just need something on the side that's easy, that's not gonna wear me out and break me down to the bone. So I might have a sugar daddy, and let me tell you why.
Oh,
so basically,
hell. I'm not sure I even want to hear this story.
Basically, I don't... It's okay, Dad. It's okay. So this guy, he comes into our Starbucks, and me and my coworker were saying, like, we swear up and down that this man is a sugar daddy. Like, we're pretty sure that he's a sugar daddy 100%. But, because every single day he comes with a different girl. He buys them coffee every day. And so we're like... And they're young girls. He's an older guy. I was like, okay, something about you. So every single time he comes in, he talks to me specifically. And so I was like, interesting. But basically he had said that he's like a producer or a filmmaker or something, and he's doing Bad Boys. He's doing Bad Boys right now. Yeah, there's a new one coming out apparently, according to him. I don't know if he's lying for real or not.
I have read it.
Oh, you have? Okay, so maybe he's not lying. But he comes in every day, talks to me, whatever. I'm like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, you could pay my rent. So the other day I was opening at the store, and he had come in, or no, he was standing across the street. I couldn't tell who he was because it's dark. It's 5 a.m. Like, what? And he's sitting there just waving through the window. I was like, I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm gonna go hide. Like, I don't know. He ends up coming in, and he was like, yeah, I didn't want, because none of us waved back. I was like, I'm gonna act like I don't see him. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, and so he comes in, and he was like, yeah, I didn't want y'all to think I was homeless. Like, I just seen you guys in there and wanted to wave at you. Da 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 da. And he was like, how many of you guys are here? And then I look at my manager, because I'm like, do we tell him how many of us are here? Like, I don't know. And then but I guess she had seen that he pulled out his wallet, and he ended up like tipping us all together like $20 or something. So it was like $5 each of us or whatever. And he put it in the tip jar. He was like, yeah, $5 for each of you guys. Da 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 da. Then a couple days later, he had waved again from across the street. So I waved back this time because I was like, okay, I know who this is. And he came in, and he was like, how many like of you guys are in here again? I told them or whatever. He ended up tipping me personally $20. And then he tipped the rest of the crew, like, you know, however much he tipped him. He was like, yeah, this one's for you. Put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket. I was like, that $20 paid for my valet at the club.
Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, so basically, I'm going to finesse him into paying my rent. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out by tomorrow. By tomorrow. By tomorrow. Yep. Yeah.
Don't let me see your feet out here on the damn internet.
Okay, so hear me out, though. Hear me out, though. Because that was another thing that I wanted to talk about with this whole hustle thing. You know, this is another thing I want to talk about. So, OnlyFans, right? I just need to know, does anybody do anything on OnlyFans anymore that's not sex?
I have heard that.
Or like sexually related, you know?
I've heard that there's some comedians that do specials on OnlyFans. I don't know that how true it is. I haven't signed up.
Well, because I just, like, I don't know. Something about OnlyFans just really is calling my name, because I just be hearing some of the 6-figure, 7-figure paychecks that these people be getting, and I'm just like, damn. But I could never. And I hope that puts some ease in your peace in your heart. I just could not do that. As good as the money looks, I couldn't do it.
If that would fall under that whole umbrella that we were talking about earlier, as far as it being so freaking common, like Airbnbs. Like, yeah. Everybody got a goddamn OnlyFans. That's kind of where I was at too, and like and I was thinking. So I actually had, this was a real life conversation that I had, I think actually with Tirit. But I was saying that, like, if I were to do something similar to OnlyFans or whatever the case may be, I would want to do something, like, obviously to stand out, because I just like, and I'm not like a. We're about to get real deep, Dad. We're about to get real deep. Like, when it comes to sex, I'm just not the kind of, like, you know, like the shit that people really be watching on OnlyFans. Because, like, you know, sometimes that should be popping up on my Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? This is sick. Like, why would you ever record this and post this on the internet? Like, this is gross. So, if I were to do something like that, I feel like I would almost want it to be, like, artistic in a way. But then I'm like, okay, but then, like, would people actually subscribe to that? Because people aren't into that shit, like, that kind of stuff. Because I follow this one girl who actually lives in Atlanta, and she's, like, very big on, like, eroticism. Is that a word? Is that correct? Yeah, I believe so. I think so.
Like, she's very big on that, and, like, she's one of those, like, spiritual people, so she's like, oh, yeah, I microdose on shrooms, like, you know, talks a lot about that kind of stuff, but she's very, like, she's talking about doing erotic massages and stuff like that, and she has a podcast as well, and I was listening to one of her podcasts, and she was talking about how there's, like, it's basically like a porn site, but they don't call it porn, and it's like, I think from my understanding, it's like all African Americans or all black people or whatever, and they do like it's like sensual porn. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like if I were to do something, it would be closer to something like that. But it's like, okay, I have never heard of anybody ever bringing up this site other than this girl. So I'm like, if I were to do something like that, would like people actually enjoy? Not, I wouldn't do porn necessarily, but like, you know how people just like be posting nudes or whatever. I'm like, if I were to do that, I want to do something artistic with like some flowers and shit or something like. But
like
people,
some bedroir
yeah,
pictures, like that type of vibe.
Yeah, but it's like okay, but like, would people actually enjoy that? Because like that's not like maybe it's just because it's not mainstream, but like maybe it's like the people who enjoy it are gonna enjoy it type thing. I don't know, but that was definitely a thought that went in my mind because I was like, you know, it sounds like easy money. If you got it, flaunt it. You know.
I tip my hat to those girls that do it. It is not something that a dad would ever wish for their child. It'd be any more than I would wish for my son to be gay. I can't lie to you. Those are just not things you have on your bucket list.
The fuck to prison, and you're going the fuck to jail.
I'm just saying, that's legit shit. As a male dad, heterosexual, those aren't things you think you would ever wish. But for those girls that do it and they're comfortable with it, if they can live with it and they're not having any regrets about it, I say more power to you. If you did it, I don't know that I would help support it, but I don't know, I wouldn't disown you either.
I also just don't think that I could I don't think that I could ever put my face out there okay, no, take it back. I think maybe if I don't know. I think that maybe if it was the more artistic stuff, maybe I would put my face out there. But something about putting my face out there, if it's like, you know, like the gross shit that even, I think it's just because I ew about it. So I'm like, why the fuck would I want my face out there if I ew about it? You know, like that just makes me sick. And then on top of that, I wouldn't want that to ruin, you know, my chances at other things that I want to do, because the other things are way more important than that. Like doing that will really just be a quick buck, like, you know. So, feet finder it is basically what I'm saying.
All I can tell you is fast money ain't always good money.
Yeah, I know, but it sure sounds good when you lost your earring and need another pair.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And there's probably a lot of people in prison saying the same thing. It was such a good idea at the time. It was quick and easy, and just everybody was doing it. And here I am. Can I have some more cornbread, please?
But yeah, that was just like a random thought that I had that I actually did want to talk about a little bit, just because I thought it'd be interesting.
I'd rather you get a lotto ticket, honestly.
Okay, well look at you. You've been getting lotto tickets for 18 motherfucking years plus and ain't won a goddamn thing. So
I have one.
$50.
$1 or $2. $1 or $2.
$50 to cover all the past lotto tickets that you spent your money on. Yeah. That's
the price you pay to live the dream. Yeah, that's never been one where I honestly thought I'd get rich. But if you don't have a ticket, you can't be like, ooh, if I win tomorrow.
Right, yeah. But yeah, so basically, if anyone listens to this podcast and has any suggestions and tips on how to get rich, we also need help setting up our LLC, so go ahead and hit us up.
Yeah, if you have one and have set one up, let us know how you did it, because I'm thinking LegalZoom or something along those lines.
We need an LLC, we need business credit, so we can start renting out studios and buying plane tickets and
equipment
getting guests and equipment and all that shit. That's really the only thing that has kept me from actually buying this thing, because I really wanted to put on a business credit card if we could do it soon enough, but it's looking like we're not going to be able to do it soon enough. So
all right, we're going to wrap this episode up now.
I'm tired of being broke, Dad.
I know, baby. I know. But that saying where if you hang out with 9 broke friends, you're going to be the 10th one. It works in the opposite too. You hang out with 9 prosperous friends, there's a chance you're going to be the 10th one.
You know what's so funny? I actually wrote my final essay on that exact saying for my professional development class.
It's true.
A couple weeks ago. That's crazy, actually. So, Dad, do you want to get back to paying me for my grades? Because I know you've seen them grades.
No, I do not. Thanks for playing.
There's only 6 of them.
I don't give a fuck. You ain't setting me up again. Fool me once, shame on me.
God damn. But yeah, that was it, I guess.
Yeah.
Just a lot of realizations, revelations, identity crises, struggle buses. But we're gonna.
It's all good.
Fine.
It's all good, healthy stuff.
Yeah. Power of manifestation, power of or law of attraction. We're putting it out there. You know, we're gonna be top of the top with podcasts. We're gonna have our own Netflix show. We're gonna have a comedy strip.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
Cartoon. It's gonna be Big Mouth style.
Yep. Watch it. Watch this work. Watch this work. Y'all better get on the damn bandwagon. You're gonna be mad.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. When you want my autograph in 10 years, I don't want to fucking hear it if you didn't watch this episode. So.
Cause we're gonna go back and check.
Oh God. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yep. We see you next time around.
And this is it on the Fricken Dad podcast.
Peace.
Okay, how do I stop it?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of the Fricken Dad podcast.
Don't forget to save and rate and do whatever else it is that you do with podcasts. Tune in every Wednesday for our new episodes.
Follow us on our personal social medias for updates. They will be in the description. Follow me at I Crack Myself Up on Instagram to follow me on my comedy journey.
And me at It's Bellaboo with 2 A's on Instagram to follow me through the rest of my journey.
Again, tune in every Wednesday on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And this is the Fricken Dad podcast.